Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So do you hear me okay? Hopefully, yes. So first of all, thank you for attending this workshop. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm Fatima Hulusi Raftar. I'm a research and instruction librarian, and my focus is graduate students. I'm working with graduate students, and is these workshop, the main audience actually of these workshop are the graduate students, like masters and doctoral students. We have a lot of registrations for this session, but not all of them I see not show up. So, but I'm going to record the session and we'll share with whoever registers for this workshop. I'm gonna take you to the library page. Share my screen with the library with you for the library page, and then gonna introduce you to some services and resources that are essentials for the advanced research projects. Before then, I just want to let you know if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You may unmute yourself and ask your questions or put your question in chat box. I will monitor the chat during the session, okay? And let me, okay. Okay. Now you should see the library page. Okay, let me just adjust my screen. Okay, good. So I'm gonna actually turn off my video in order for you guys to focus on this screen. Okay, and then let me adjust it. Okay, good. Okay, so I don't know how much you guys are familiar with the library website and if you ever had any kind of research and navigation through the resources, library resources and databases. But my assumption is that you don't, uh, you haven't had a lot of navigations and kind of it's the first time, okay? That's you are, just wanna be introduced with this page. So here is the Waters Library website, and the URL is etamu.edu/library. You may just search the Google for the first time, just search Waters Library, and then go to the website, or you may go to the university webpage, and it is under the resources, okay? So when you open the library, it is by default on one search, okay? You may ask me what is one search? One search is the terminology that we use for the whole library collections, okay? And as you see, there is a simple or basic search box here, and you may search for books, articles in print, e-resources, databases, journals, and textbooks, and so forth, okay? You may just, for starting any research, you need actually, the keywords or subject terms in order to start searching within the library collections or databases. What I mean by the keywords or subject terms, it is when you have a kind of research question or research statement or research topic. From that research kind of question or statement, you need to get some kind of words, or we call that keywords or subject terms, and use those combination of the terms within the search box of the Librarian search or databases in order to ask the the collections or the databases to retrieve for the relevant resources to your research topic. Okay. Today, I'm not going to go into details and actually search in detail any kind of topic or something. Today, the purpose and the objective of this session is just kind of giving introduction to all resources and services which are valuable for the grad students, okay? You may just type your keywords here, or you may go to advanced search, okay? Advanced search, when you click on that, it gives you more options, facets, or filters, and it gives you more kind of tools to manage your search strategies, okay, when you go to advanced search. So here you may see that there are two lines. These are the locations that you should put the keywords or subject terms or titles of a book or of an article or the author's name, name of a journal, and so forth. If I click on this arrow, it shows the filters that you can apply, like title, author, subject. Subject is the subject terms or the keywords, okay? And ISSN of a kind of resource, if you have, you can put it here. Let me just show you very quickly. For example, the title of my book is Education Reform, for example, okay? If you know the title exactly of the resource of a book or of an article, my recommendation is use quotes. I mean, put them around the, put quotations around the phrase, and then go to the title and click title and hit search. You can do the other filterings here, like the publication date of that resource, if you know, and just let these collections know that what you're exactly looking for. You're looking for books, articles, and so forth, okay? And then hit search. As soon as you hit search, it retrieves kind of resources that starts with the phrase that you already searched and you put in quotation marks, as you see, okay? And here on the left side of the page, you may filter more the resources, okay? So are you looking for the online version of that, print version of that, and so forth, okay? And then resource type here says that, are you looking for articles, book chapters, the other things that starts with these two phrases, words, this phrase. I'm going to take back. This is a kind of good place to start. Let me go back to the library page. I mean, OneSearch is a good place to start whenever you're kind of want to just brainstorm or kind of do a random search or general search. And then especially you have citations or bibliographic information of a resource, it is more useful, okay? For example, you have a citation, you have the title of a journal article, and you're looking for the article. My suggestion is just coming over here, type your title over here, and then put in quotation marks and search, okay? My recommendation is whenever you're working on your dissertation, thesis, or kind of advanced research projects, my recommendation is starting through databases. Okay, so databases, when I click on that, another basic search opens, okay? And this basic search box is not like one search, is not the place or box that you type the keywords or subject term. It is the place or box to search for databases. You know what database you wanna search within, and you type the name of database here and then hit search, okay? Before I'll show you how it works, I just wanna remind you of just databases, what databases are. Databases are e-collections of e-books and e-articles, I mean online articles, okay? And some other resources that are available online. So our library has subscriptions to multiple databases on various subjects. If you don't know what database you want to start with, so my suggestion is click on Browse by Subject, okay? And here you see that the databases have been organized by subject, alphabetically, and or by type, okay? So when you are working on a research statement topic, and then it is focusing on a special subject, on a singular subject, a special subject, my recommendation is going through these subjects, find the area, the field of your research, and go through the number of the databases being retrieved, and then go through each one of them and search. I'll show you how it works. For example, your field of study is education, and then your research topic is just relevant to education. Like, for example, yours is curriculum and instruction, and your research is like for K-12, okay? For example. So I would click on this, and the kind of collections opens a page with the most relevant databases on your topic, like these, okay? And I would start from these, like Eric. Each one of these is a kind of individual database, and within each you can find multiple resources, okay? If I told you to start with the focused area or subject because you wanna have a better, kind of the most relevant resources, and you wanna save your time. Okay. But sometimes our actually research topic is not focusing on a special subject. We call that multidisciplinary, multi-subjects, okay? So I would start from multidisciplinary ones. The multidisciplinary databases are those that within you can locate resources on various subjects, okay? They're not focusing on just one special subject. So usually I start, whenever I have any kind of research projects, I start from the multidisciplinary ones. There are very good databases in this list that I want to take you to a few of those. Like the first one is ProQuest Central, one of the best bet ones. Academic Search. ProQuest Central is through ProQuest. The other one is Academic Search Premier. It is through EBSCO, okay? And we have others. I told you this session, I'm not going to details, but I'm going to just introduce you to the most valuable resources like these, the multidisciplinary databases like JSTOR, okay? And the description of each one of them is under each, and then you may go ahead and take a look and see that this database is useful for your research or not, okay? And then the others are ProQuest dissertations and theses. Within these, you can find all available theses and dissertations in Nation. And the other one that I really like it and use it a lot is ProQuest One Academic, and the others, okay? You may start from here whenever it is kind of multidisciplinary, or you may go back to all and make sure it is on all subjects, okay? And all, you see that the library has around 305 databases, okay? So when you are on all and then it shows 300 some, if you go to the right of the page on the research starters, it is faster, okay? Yeah, on the research starters, you can see some best bet data, multidisciplinary databases like Academic Search Premier, JSTOR, ProQuest One Academic. Okay, it depends on you where you want to start from. You want to go over here, it starts the working with resources under the research starter, or go to multidisciplinary ones, or go to the subject focus ones. So it depends on your strategy and your research topic. Okay. Let me just for today, just want to introduce you to a few of these. Let's go to ProQuest One Academic. ProQuest One Academic is, as I said, one of the multidisciplinary databases. It is the homepage of database. You may go directly to advanced search, okay? It gives you more options, more facets to filter your research, okay? Or you want to just start from basic, then later apply the filters, okay? Let's start easier. Like here, for example, I have kind of resource. My topic is about social media and teens, okay? It is just a kind of random topic. I just want to show you how it works. Social media. And for example, my research topic is the effect of social media on teens' behavior, or teens, or in total teens, okay? So for example, I put social media and teens here, okay? So you may, in order to ask the database, not search for media. You know that we have different types of media. So you may again here use kind of quotation marks in order to let the database know that you're searching for the phrase, not, excuse me, you're searching for the resources about or on that phrase, not just on each singular word like social, like media. So it's going to be when you don't use quotation marks, it's going to retrieve all the resources on these words and the terms, and then you'll see how much irrelevant would be the results, and you're going to have a large number of results, okay? You can add as many as other keywords to this, okay? But usually I start broadly, okay? And then make them narrower. I'll show you how. And also one more thing, the words or the terms or the phrases I put here are not just the words and terms. So you might wanna just change these subject terms to their equivalents, to their synonyms, okay? So whatever that is relevant, because the resources within databases have been tagged, indexed by different terminologies, different words. So sometimes you put a special kind of terminology or word and the database doesn't retrieve anything. So it doesn't mean that the database doesn't have the resources on your topic. It means that you might need to change the keywords or subject terms to their equivalents and see that how the database might retrieve the resources on your topic, okay? So let me just click and see that how it works. So here it gave me retrieved 445,000. You see, too many, okay? So we need just to filter them. We go to the left column, like one search, and then see that how we can filter them. Depends on the requirements of your research. whether it meets the peer-reviewed, scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles or the popular articles. So you decide that you filter by peer-reviewed or not. Very quickly, peer-reviewed are those scholarly resources which have been accredited, evaluated by the peers of the same field, and they are the most reliable and scholarly kind of resources, okay? And peer-reviewed resources are just within scholarly journals. Scholarly journals are different from magazines, newspaper, or trade journals. Within scholarly journals, you just can find scholarly resources, whether they are peer-reviewed or not. But within newspapers, magazines, trade journals, they are not necessarily scholarly and they are not necessarily peer-reviewed. Okay, please, if you need more clarifications or you have any questions, please stop me and ask your questions. Anyway, I think to click within these, I want to let you know about something. When I don't know if you are doctoral students or master students, but when you're working on a big research projects like dissertation, like sometimes the thesis, I don't know, depends on the type of thesis. So you wanna know about all available literature on your topic. Either we have through our library access to or not. Hopefully it makes sense. If I click within this box, full text, it means that I ask the database to search for just the resources that our library has access to based on the subscriptions policies, okay? Because this database has millions, trillions of resources, but not necessarily our library has access to all of them. It depends on the type of subscriptions, okay? So if you don't click on these, the database at least retrieves the bibliographic information or citation of the resources, and you get aware of the availability of the resource, okay? And you come across a resource, you see that it is just a bibliographic information and we don't have it. Don't get panicked, don't worry. We have other service that I'll introduce. It is called interlibrary loan, that you can request that resource through that service. I'll let you know how to do that. But when your research, but let me, before this, tell you that why we want to know about all available literature, because when we are working on a big project, research projects, we want to know about the available resources on our topic in order to find gap or gaps to write about, to do research on, okay, especially for the dissertation. So we want to know about all available, okay? But depends on your choice and depends on your projects. If you click within the full text, it means that you just kind of limit the results by the ones that our library has access to. You see that when I click in full text, that big number changed to 18,000, okay? And then scholarly journals, I want to just make sure that all of these are within the scholarly journals. So through this database, give it a second to update as you see that loading. And the filters are here so far. If I scroll down, again, depending on your kind of research requirement and research topic, you might want to filter the publication, the years of publication of resources that's been retrieved by the database. These are 18,000 are from 1973 to 2026. So, for example, for my research, they are kind of all dated, and I want to have for the last 10 years, okay, for example, 15 years, last 5 years, okay? So you can just pull this arrow like this, okay? Or if it doesn't work sometimes, you may go to enter the date manually. Okay, but now I'm okay with this, 2020 to 2029. Sometimes it shows dates for the coming years because we have some articles that they are in the process of kind of publication or peer review or something and not been officially published, but you may get the information of those as well. Okay. So, so far we have, oh, let me update that. When you change this arrow, move this arrow or put the dates here, you need to update. And then give it a second to load. And then now we have 18,000. Okay, still is good. Still is good because my subject terms are broad. Okay, now I want to make it narrower. How I can do that? Before making them narrower, I can go to document type and then here see that what I'm looking exactly. I'm looking for just articles. Okay, so let's load that. I just selected that. It's loading. Okay, now it's 10,000 some. These are the kind of filters that you've done. And if you're not satisfied with, you can just remove them. And then the parts that I really think that it's very helpful is the subjects. When you click on that and then click on more, it takes you to this box and it gives you more subject terms for you to add to the original subject terms that you put at the first time in order to make the research results narrower. So far, we've had 10,000 some, but when I add the other keywords, like I put social media and teens, I can put adolescents, I can put teenagers, I can put mental health, I can put any of things, and then the number is going to be reduced to those. For example, if I put mental health in order to make my research narrower and then apply, so it's going to be 1,000 instead of 10,000. Let's see. Okay. So you can add more in order to make them narrower and narrower. Okay. And then, for example, if I add a stress, it's going to be and apply, it's going to be 109. Okay, 198. Okay, so I'll let you work with it yourself. Just I want to show you how databases works. I just randomly selected this one, but we have other databases. The interfaces are the same, but actually functions are the same, but interfaces are different. So you may want to have a one-on-one session for research. But with me, I'll give you the information. But for now, it is just the kind of introduction. Okay. So I'm going to go back. Do you have any questions? I don't see any chat. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the databases. And one more time, I'm going to go to all. And here I showed you how ProQuest One academic work, but the other multidisciplinary ones like Academic Search Premier, I'm going to just show you the interface, the homepage. So here it is. So the functions are the same. There is a basic search box, and then there are some filters. There are advanced search and everything. But you need just to get familiar with the kind of commands, options, tools, and their locations within each database. Okay. If you go back, I'll take you to JSTOR. Is another best bet ones for multidisciplinary ones. So it is the same. There is a search box. You can put it here and then You can just search for images as well through this one. You can just put, for example, leadership. I just want to show you how it looks like. And it just retrieves this number, and then you go to the filtering and filter it to the most relevant results to your research. Okay, so the browser, the subject terms, the combination of subject terms are the browser and the bigger number of research results you're gonna have. As you make them specific, add more subject terms, the research results gonna be narrower. So it depends on your strategy. How would you like to start? Okay. But let me introduce you here to something. Okay. For example, you retrieve these articles and you like this one. If you click on that, it takes you to this page. This page has an abstract by the publisher, an abstract by AI. So you decide, I would read both. I don't have any bias to AI. So I read both and use my judgment to see that which one is kind of better, give me ideas of the content of this article. And then I decide that if I wanna save this article to use it to consult with for my paper or not. Okay. So for example, I like this article. Okay. I can download the PDF on my device. Okay. Like this, click on that and download it and save it. And also you can go to site, and depending on the citation format you guys are working, depends on your field and course and your professor's requirement, you select the type of citation format, like for example, APA 7th edition. And then here, let it load. Okay. Oh, it says an error occurred. I don't know why. Let me see. Go back one more time. It shouldn't be like this. I'm gonna just try one more time. Sorry, let me close the others. Okay. Okay. Let me go back. Let's go to this one. I selected full text. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to this one, to another one, and see that. I wanna introduce you. Oh, why? Introduce you to a kind of tool. Because of this, I'm here. It's interesting. Let me do this. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let me update the page. It shouldn't be like this, but I don't know what happened. So it is ready. I'm gonna go to other. If it doesn't work, I'll take you to another database, but it should work, you know, so it might have some kind of tech issues. Yes, there is a tech issue, but I wanted to introduce you to RefWorks. I'm going to take you to another database. I don't know what happened to this one for now, but it is weird. It doesn't happen a lot. I mean, it's for the first time it happened to me. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Okay, take you to Academic Search Premier. So search within this. Okay, so for example, leadership. Sometimes through some databases, when you type, it gives you some other ideas, some other ideas for other subject terms you want to add. So like this, leadership and management, for example. Okay. So I'm gonna go to filters and like that I explained to you. So peer-reviewed, full text, and then source type, academic journals, and apply them. And then, for example, I like this article. When I click on that, again, there should be a description or abstract, and then I decide that I want to use it or not. And then I go to these tools here. I told you on different, the functions are the same, but the locations are different. So through this database, the citation is here. When you click on that, it gives you, again, a list of different citations. So if you want to work with APS 7th edition, or you want to work with MLA or others. So here is the citation, and you can copy and paste it on your work, but it is a machine generator generator, and we cannot trust is 100%. So whenever the structure, the format is ready, but whenever you want to just put it on your Word, you need just to double check the if it is correct or not, based on punctuation, capitalization, and the other things, and also the URL here, if it is DOI or not. Okay. Sometimes the machines, the collections, the databases gives the URL of the page. So you don't want to use that. And I usually, all the time, not usually, all the time, I'll double check with the manual 7th edition APA or other manuals that are available to kind of check that it is correct or not before submitting my work. Okay. So here it is the citation. But the other tool that I want to emphasize on that regarding its benefits to researchers is the citation management tools. If you click on export citation, it opens a list of different citation management tools. You may ask me what citation management tools are. You know what? Whenever you're working on a big project, you're working with several databases. You see that today I work with ProQuest, EBSCOhost, and ProQuest gave me a hard time, but I came to EBSCOhost, but I might have some articles from there, here. So if I want to save all of them on my device, so it's going to be overwhelming. But if you use a kind of platform, we call them citation management tools, you can create your own collection with different folders and organize them within your own collection. Okay. So at the end of the day, whenever you want to give citation references or go back to them, you would not have any kind of troubles because they are in one place. Let me show you how it works. For example, I told you this is a list of citation management tools, but our library has subscription to RefWorks. RefWorks is one of the best bet ones, and I would use RefWorks because we have the subscriptions to, we have access to all features. Okay, so when I say export citation, it means that I want this article being saved into my collection. So I click on export to RefWorks. And then let's see what happens. Okay, you may not have an account within RefWorks. It's okay. When you click on export to RefWorks, such a page opens, and then you click on create account. In order to create an account, you should use your student email address and create a new password in order to create a new account, because it's a third-party platform and it is your own collection. Okay, so I already have an account and I just log in, and then I just follow the prompts. I export it here. I say, okay, import my article here, and then Yeah, let it. I believe there are some kind of things with internet today. It gave me errors a lot of time. Okay, let's see. Import references. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what happened today. It gives me a lot of errors. Okay, I'm going to go back. But you know how it works, okay? I don't want to just waste time. But when you click on import references, it's going to take you on a page that all the references are there. But I don't know why it doesn't open today. So let me see what happened to databases today or internet. I don't know. I'm going to do one more time. But if it doesn't work, I'll show you some guys that you can get back later. You know what? There is something wrong, I think. I'm so sorry about this today, but let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one more time. If not, it's okay. No, it's not working. But as I said, it should open. I think I promise it's just kind of a temporary ones. It doesn't happen usually. So when you click on export to RefWorks, it takes you to the RefWorks, the list of your references, and then you can create different folders, save them in different folders. Let me take you back to the library page. Here, whenever you click on guides and browse search guides, research guides and type. Here we have some guides that show you how you can work with different tools like RefWorks. Let me see. Here it is. So today it has some technical issue, but if you want to go back and create a kind of account and know that how work with RefWorks, this guide can help you. But if you don't have an account, you want to know how to make an account. Let me take you back to here. We are on all, and here, if you click on R, if you go to RefWorks, you can, before start, oh, it's here it is, it worked. So before starting, you can create an account and then follow that prompts. And then let me do it one more time. And then see that, yes, now it's working. I think it's because of internet. Hopefully it's working. Okay. Doesn't matter. Let me show you. So for example, that page brought us to this page, and here is are all the kind of resources that I exported here, imported from the others here. And then here you can create folders, different folders, save them in different folders. And one of the best benefits of these is whenever you click on select all within each folder, and then go to create bibliography and create bibliography, it gives you the list of all references. You don't need to create them from scratch. They are here, but you can just double check they are correct. Okay, and there are a lot of other things that you can get it used for your research, like let me go back, like tools. My suggestion is go to tools and extension and add-on and see that how much it can be valuable, because you can link it to the Word document. You can link this tool to Google Docs and then automatically transfer your in-text citations, okay? If you go to that guide that I just, some minutes ago, I introduced you, and it was not kind of fully answered your questions, you may go to this question mark here, go to Knowledge Center, and here, whenever you go to training, it gives you all the training on how to use RefWorks, okay? Do you have any questions? Okay, I'm going to go back to the library page because we don't have much time and it took longer than I expected. So I'm gonna introduce you to some other tools. I talk about interlibrary loan very quickly. So this is the page to interlibrary loan. You should create an account whenever you encounter a kind of resource that we talk how it happens through some databases, and you need that, but it shows just the bibliographic information. I would go to interlibrary loan, create an account, and then log in, and then here. So you, again, use your CWID in order to let them know that you are affiliated with university. And then here, just create request. And if it is article, book, and then give the information, and you're gonna receive the article or chapters, a few chapters of an ebook via email, or the print book, if it's not a textbook, via mail. Okay? This is about these. The other things, the other resources that I want to tell you about, we talk about databases, are journals. Sometimes you're looking, you have a citation, you're looking for a scholarly just journal. So I would go to here and then click on Browse Journals by Subject. And then here you can search the journals by title. Like, for example, American Journal of Public Health. Just put it here. Immediately you put it, retrieves. Let me see. There is a question, I think. Usually it is in PDF, but sometimes it is in, it gives you the option of other formats. Okay. You're talking about the articles, correct? Within the databases? Dayan?
Yes, mostly articles.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's
Yeah.
generally options as to what we download, or if it's going to typically be PDF.
Yeah, I cannot say yes or no because it depends on the platform.
Okay.
Okay. But sometimes yes. Usually like ProQuest and EBSCO gives you HTML, PDF, but I've seen the other databases give you the other options. So you might just navigate through the page and see that what options are available. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So I told you about these. So I was here, I clicked on journal, I clicked on browse journal by subject, and then it brought me here. This is a platform that library has subscription to. It's called Browsing Library. And here you can search when it is very good, again, whenever you have citation and you're looking for a specific article within that citation. Let me show you how. So whenever I click on this, for example, Journal of for example, I type my journal of whatever. So like this, okay? When I click on that, it opens this page. And here you see the list of articles. But based on the citation, you go to the publication year, like 2025. And then here you see the volumes, okay? And sometimes you see the issues as well. So it depends on the type of the journal. And then here, when you open the volume and the issue, specific ones that you're looking for, and then you scroll down, you can locate the article, okay? And you may click on see all, and it takes you to the main page of the journal, whether via the library or via the page of its journal. And there you can search by keywords, okay? So what else? Let me go back. Do you have any questions here? And this platform has a lot of things. Again, you can have folders, you can have bookshelves, you can set up notification whenever any kind of article has been added to your library, to your folder based on the topic. So I would go and navigate through this, and then we have a guide here again on browsing. Okay, you can go there and search the guides by browsing, and it gives you kind of information how to work with browsing. Okay, the other things that I'm going to show you very quickly, that is, I don't know, you guys linked your Google Scholars with our library. I don't know if you did or not, but I'm going to show you. So it is very, very helpful whenever we're doing research. At least it's very helpful to me. So this is Google Scholar. I know a lot of us work with Google Scholar, but let's link it to our library in order to have access to the resources, because you know that not all the time we are lucky enough to have access to the Google Scholar articles. So how we do that? It is here on the homepage. I go to these three lines to the left of the page, go to settings, here library links, and here make sure our Google Scholar these four kind of items being selected and saved. Okay, you may wanna just take a picture, or you already have it done. I don't know, but my assumption was you didn't, and I just want to let you know. So these four, and then save it. They are not by default here. You should first search, and then you see them, and then click with the box to save them. Save them, okay? And then when you go back and search for anything like inflation, whatever, I just point inflation rate. For inflation and unemployment. I want to just search for some articles. So these are the articles. The ones with these links, you see that Texas A&M or with JSTOR takes us to the full text. It means that we have access. So you don't need to just copy paste the title and go back to the library, see that we have access or not. Just if you click on that, it takes you to, yes. I thought that it gave me error again, but not. It took me to the actual article. Or the other way around is clicking on this, and it takes you to the library page if you want to use the library tools. Hey guys, I don't know what happened today. Come on. Come on, please. I don't know, your internets have, oh no, here it is. Good. Okay, good. So here it took me via Google Scholar, just by clicking, it took me to the library page, and here I can click on that and or download the PDF and then use the other tools like citations and export. Actually, our library has the export tools, and here you can find, if it works, sorry, here it is RIS, so I want RefWorks. RefWorks is here by itself. So you click on RefWorks and just send it to your collection, okay? I'm so sorry if I gave you a lot of information very fast, but there are a lot more that I'd like you guys just take advantage of these resources. But I know I couldn't cover all of them because of time, and I know I was fast. I'm so sorry about that. But if you want to work with me and want to have a kind of one-on-one session, research session, my recommendation is go and schedule an appointment with me. You may go to reservation here and then book an appointment. And here, just go ahead and select, for example, Zoom in person, and then research consultation. And here, just my name is here, or you may just want to work with my colleagues. That's okay. So select, each one of us, and just go ahead and just make an appointment based off your availability and our availability. I had other things in my list to cover, but as I said, we didn't have enough time. So I'm going to stop here and let you ask. We have still 5 minutes. Let you ask questions. And I'm gonna turn on my camera. Any questions, guys? And I'm so sorry because of kind of inconvenience regarding the internet. I don't know, it kind of tech issues. I didn't expect that, but I don't know what happened. Any questions?
None for me, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I hope it was helpful for you guys. And I'm gonna send a recording to everybody who registered, but it takes some time for me, maybe next week, to edit it and then send it. And you're welcome, Marcia. So it was my pleasure. My pleasure. You're welcome. And thank you so much for attending. And then I'll let you go and have a wonderful evening. Okay?